It's been exactly the same the last 20 years. It hasn't changed, and everybody is still wanting to move to these most desired locations in South Florida. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joseph McFarlane. I'm the broker owner of Reform Realty, South Florida homes and luxury estates. Also, I'm an early investor pioneer in the world's first real estate NFT known as TICs. We are literally spearheading the world of digital real estate. And as crazy as that sounds, it's happening with or without you. So if you're interested to learn more about that, be sure to check out some of my other videos at the end of this video, where we talk more about how blockchain and cryptocurrency is impacting real estate as we know it. And so in today's video, we're talking about an extremely common question that I get on the regular of being a realtor in South Florida. I'm also a 20-year South Florida resident, so I've had a lot of time to digest a lot of this information. And quite honestly, it's been the same the last 20 years. Where in South Florida should you move to when you're considering moving to South Florida? So whether or not you are not from here and you're moving to here, or if you already live here but you're considering to transplant somewhere else within the area, this video is for you. Now, I would like to preface that South Florida in general is pretty awesome. Beautiful weather, great beaches, low taxes, constitutional rights and freedoms. The list goes on. But people always want to know, where is the creme de la creme? The best of the best, the most desired locations in all of South Florida. And locating them, quite honestly, is very simple. And while it's not a coincidence, the common indicator is wherever the A+ school districts are. Now, I want to be very careful. I am not a fan of, nor am I a supporter of, the public education system. If you were to ask me my opinion, I would tell you that people do not move to Florida for the public school system. Instead, they move here for the other reasons that I just mentioned. So if you're coming to Florida for a better public school system, you might as well look elsewhere. However, South Florida does have very good private schooling institutions, as well as, quite honestly, one of the best homeschool co-ops that I've ever seen, just to give you something else to consider. And so, because South Florida is such a desirable location to begin with, being located within an A+ rated public school system presents a lot more upside potential for appreciation in your property value over time. Consequently, you could also expect for property taxes to be high as well, but that's just the nature of the beast. And so where, might you be asking, where are these locations? I assure you that it's so simple to know, because quite honestly, the A+ school districts are so few and far between. There's about a handful in Palm Beach County and a handful in Broward County and a couple of sprinkled down in Miami-Dade. And so if you're looking for that single family home in South Florida suburbia where you can raise a family and expect ultimate upside appreciation on your property, chances are it's located in one of those A+ school districts. We're gonna start from the top down. Coming in at number one, probably my favorite place in all of South Florida, is the very tip top of Palm Beach County, and that is the wonderful city of Jupiter. Jupiter is a quaint, affluent beach town, quickly developing, home to many celebrities. It's very hip, there's tons of things to do, it's very safe, and it continues to flourish as more and more people are squeezed from South Broward up to the northern tip of Palm Beach. Jupiter, Florida is one of the most desirable places in all of South Florida to live. Coming in at number two is going to be the neighbor of Jupiter, and that is Palm Beach Gardens. Also, affluent, safe, quaint, fun, ritzy, things to do, people to see. It's very common for people in both Palm Beach Gardens and Jupiter to hang out in each other's towns. Palm Beach Gardens also has an A-rated school district, and it's one of the best places to live in North Palm Beach County. Coming in at number three, we're going way out west, and that is going to be Wellington. The first thing that everybody thinks about when they hear Wellington is the equestrian flavor the moment that you drive through. So whether it's English riding or polo club, you will notice that as you drive through this beautiful city, that it is also very affluent, very safe, and very quaint. The only catch about Wellington is that it's very far west, so if you want to venture to the beach out east, it's a good 30-minute drive. Whereas in other cities in Florida, the beach is a lot closer. Other than that, Wellington is one of the most popular places to purchase real estate in South Florida today. Okay, number four on our list in Palm Beach County is going to be the one, the only, you know it, Boca Raton, Florida. Boca Raton is probably like the Beverly Hills of South Florida. It's ritzy, it's glamorous, it's fun, it's pretty, it's quaint, it's cool, it's Boca. All of the schools are A-rated, and there's also several private schools and prep schools located in Boca Raton. Boca is one of the most highly desired cities in all of South Florida, probably the most desired. It is the quintessential South Florida suburbia, and most people who move to Boca never end up leaving Boca, literally. Now, I want to be very careful. There's a lot of other really cool places in Palm Beach County where you can live, but I am specifically pinpointing the cities that have A+ school districts that are the most highly desired. And if you haven't already, please take the opportunity right now to click the subscribe button below. Don't forget to ring that bell. because you will be first to be notified whenever I drop brand new content of what it's like to live in South Florida. We keep the content real estate related, investing related. And so if that's you or you know somebody that might benefit from this video, don't forget to share it with somebody who you think might benefit from it. All right, let's talk about Broward County. Broward County, like Palm Beach County, is also few and far between. The number one city in Broward County that's most desirable and has the A-rated school district is Parkland, Florida. And guess what? Like Wellington, Parkland is also an equestrian community. It is also the quintessential suburbia of South Florida. When you drive through Parkland, you will notice the quaint, affluent, beautiful, well manicured and preserved feeling. And you could also expect tremendous upside appreciation to your home values because it's just one of the most desirable places to live in all of Broward County. All right, number 2 on the Broward County best places to live in South Florida list is going to be one of my favorites, Coral Ridge. Located just a mile from the beach and blocks away from the Intracoastal, Coral Ridge is extremely affluent. The average home price in Coral Ridge is approximately $2 million, but they go as high as about $10 million. Coral Ridge is also home to several well-known, highly rated private schools. One in particular that I'd like to give a special shout out, which is Westminster Academy, located right next to John Knox Theological Seminary. If I could turn back the hands of time, I would have loved to have gone there. Not the seminary, I mean the high school. If I was to go to seminary, I'd go to RBS. Shout out RBS, whoop whoop. It's important to note that Coral Ridge is split between Coral Ridge North and Coral Ridge South. Coral Ridge North is adjacent to the Coral Ridge Country Club golf course, and Coral Ridge South is zoned for the slightly better public school district. That's a pro tip. All right, number 3 on our where to live in South Florida when you're moving to South Florida list in Broward County is Southwest Ranches. Now, you guessed it, you heard the word ranches. They are also an equestrian community. Isn't that interesting? We have a bunch of equestrian communities in South Florida. You would even think that with all that ocean, that people would just be so fixated on boats and fishing and water sports. But as you can see, equestrian neighborhoods are a big thing to do here. And so you will find a very desirable location in Southwest Ranches. And finally, for best places to live in South Florida, most desired, most asked about with A-rated schools is going to be Weston, or like some people say, Westonzuela. It's kind of an inside joke that we have here as South Floridians. There are a lot of Venezuelan people who live in Weston, and we all jokingly call it Westonzuela. The story goes like this. When the political system in Venezuela collapsed, the majority of the Venezuelans who had money and could afford to get out took their money and left Venezuela and invested their lives in Weston, Florida. And so naturally, entire communities and business sprung up with Venezuelan immigrants. Since that has happened, we've seen about 2 or 3 generations of people move to, live in, and populate the city of Weston. And now today, they have a flourishing economy, booming real estate, some of the best schools, and is also one of the most desirable, affluent locations to live in today. My friends and I always have a fun time whenever we visit Westonzuela. I must give a couple of honorable mentions. Down south in Miami-Dade, Coral Gables, which is an extremely affluent suburb of Miami. Lots of celebrities live there as well. Back up to Broward County, Lighthouse Point, as well as other parts of Fort Lauderdale like Dolphin Isles, which are beautiful places to live too. And so, if you found this video to be educational, entertaining, and engaging, please don't forget to share it with somebody who you think might benefit from it. And if you haven't already, right now, click the subscribe button below. Don't forget to ring the bell. You will be notified whenever I create brand new videos like this one. As always, I wish you many blessings.